The volunteer heroes of the RNLI have been saving lives since the first lifeboat station opened in 1824.
Royal National Lifeboat Institution is RNLI. We've been saving lives for 200 years. Many lifeboat stations around the coast of the UK and in Scotland, not just the mainland but on the islands as well. Here at Broughty Ferry Lifeboat, we're consistently one of the busiest lifeboat stations in Scotland. Last year we launched on service 121 times. The service runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
In the RNLI's history, crews have risked their own lives in treacherous conditions to save more than 146,000 people from dying at sea. One of those 146,000 people was Ben.
On the 25th of November 2012, myself and some friends decided to go for a little jet ski trip on the River Tay. Myself and Gavin, we went out early, around about 10 o'clock in the morning.
When their jet ski broke down and sank, Ben and his friend Gavin ended up in the water, separated from the rest of their group, who raised the alarm. But despite a helicopter and lifeboat search, rescuers could not spot them, and they were drifting further into the freezing waters of the North Sea.
Time's getting on now, the light's starting to fade, we are getting tired. But it was so cold. But at this point we're thinking maybe this is our time, and we start to talk about how do we make it easy. Do we lie back? Do we go to sleep? Do we go under, take a deep breath? But we just kept on thinking about the kids and my wife's at home. We had to get home.
As the situation was looking increasingly hopeless, they spotted the light of the lifeboat and used their last ounce of strength to cry for help.
Eventually the two, we did see the light, and we just started making as much noise as we can. We got the whistles, we were splashing, shouting, doing everything that we can to make as much noise as we can.
Despite the noise, the lifeboat still had not seen them.
The guy on the front of the boat who was holding the searchlight took his helmet off and very faintly heard the whistle. Within a few minutes the boat was up the side, and all I can remember is just looking up, seeing the lifeboat crew pulled us out. Gav went to the front of the boat, I went to the back of the boat, and they carried the casualty care. We went up to Granny's house, kids came out, and the little boy came running out saying, "Daddy, where have you been all day?" Picked him up, gave him the biggest hug.
Within days of being rescued, Ben made a remarkable decision.
Since that day, it's changed my life. For me, it was all about, what do I give back to someone who saved my life? For me, it's my time. Volunteering now at Broughty Ferry Lifeboat Station for around 12 years, to be part of the team of men and women around the coast of the UK who go out to save lives at sea, feels amazing.
I'm in absolute awe of the commitment that Benny gives us, and every single volunteer gives us. But Benny's story is astonishing, and I couldn't be prouder of him.
Great to see the women here as well. Brilliant. Right. That was quite a rescue. It was terrifying. So how does it feel now to be on the other side of that and to be the one doing the rescuing?
Privilege. It does. It feels like a privilege. On the night, obviously, you've seen the video, series of events that went wrong that caused the accident itself. It didn't take me very long to decide to go down and join the RNLI, and now being on the crew and on the boat and helping save lives at sea is just amazing.
You were part of that crew that rescued Ben on that night. It must be amazing when you've been out there in that water in the dark to actually hear a sound and know that you could do something like that.
Yeah, it's one of those rescues that's always going to stick in my mind. I can still hear the whistle now.
Yeah.
I was one of the guys up the front, and and I remember standing with the searchlight in pitch blackness, just shouting into the darkness, "Keep whistling, we can hear you, but we can't see you. Just keep whistling.
And do you hear the whistling as well?
Yeah, we're up front, we heard the whistle. What we've done is we got closer, we turned the engines off, just so we could hear the whistle a bit better, and got clear and clear where it was. It was getting dark. It was at the point to where we were going to call off the search. We just also didn't want to give up. And yeah, great
Well,
result.
thank you.
Outstanding.
Heroes.
So, Jill?
Yes, Jill?
So the RNLI obviously depend on volunteers and donations from the public. What would you say to the public?
I think over the last 200 years, it's not been without the support of our communities, and that is the communities of Scotland. It's not without the support of our volunteers, of which you've got a broad range here, from water safety to operational volunteers to our fundraisers to our retail teams. And it's one big RNLI family, and it's one big Scottish family. So thank you very much.
Brilliant.
Yes, indeed.
So listen, the RNLI is an organisation that the whole country can be proud of. So here to say thank you and to pay tribute on behalf of every single Scot, please welcome your new First Minister, Mr John Swinney.
Friends, this has been an absolutely incredible evening, and my warmest thanks to the Daily Record and to the TSB for organising the Pride of Scotland Awards and for celebrating some of the most exceptional individuals in our society today. Thank you very much for all those achievements that we've celebrated tonight. It's a particular pleasure for me to present the Special Recognition Award tonight to the RNLI because over the last 200 years, volunteers, the length and breadth of our country, have put their lives at risk to protect others. They've taken those steps to make sure that others could be safe. And people like Ben, whose life was saved by the RNLI, is one of over 45,000 people over those 200 years who've been saved by courageous people putting their lives at risk for others. And there is, as we've reflected tonight, no greater sacrifice than an individual can make. So the RNLI needs our support. I have to say, when we're out in the beaches of Scotland as a family, we see the RNLI people out at St Andrews protecting us, making sure that when we're all out on our paddle boards and all the rest of it, that we're safe and that we're doing the right thing. That only happens with our support in communities the length and breadth of the country. So let's make sure that RNLI is well supported. And to each of you and to all those that you represent in the different parts of Scotland, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all that you do for Scotland and for keeping us all safe. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Ben, you take it. There we go. Thank you, First Minister, and I think we can give an absolutely massive cheer to all our RNLI heroes.